What's going on, APDL? It is Coach Sauce here with the Kalamazoo Raichu, and we're bringing you Week 3's game. And this is against none other than the Canaclave City Carnavines, aka DJ. Now, going into this game, DJ is the best of the best, one of the better players in the league, and you know, going up against him is never an easy task. So, you know, we try and throw him off a little bit. You know, I said I was bringing a dank team this week. It turns out it wasn't like as dank as it maybe could have been. So, nonetheless, super fun game that we played, and yeah, his team is scary to prep for. Like, he's got the Flygon, Great Dragon type, very, very hot commodity right now, as well as Jkkayy. That thing can deal some really good damage. And yeah, you know, you're just gonna have to see it for yourself. We have our team here that we prepped for this week, specifically for DJ. And let's hop right to it. Let's go check it out. So, first Pokemon is Silverhammer. Again, it's kind of a good lead, you know. The fact that we have Rapid Spin just in case of any hazards, I'd like to be able to get that out right away instead of trying to switch in to rocks and then have that 25% damage kind of kick in. So that's kind of like a drawback with Cloyster and Rapid Spin, but it is what it is. So in case he leads off with like a Flygon, Jkkayy, Donphin, like any of these Pokemon do not appreciate ice, and so that's why we have the Ice Shard here. Explosion, Spikes to round things off, just set up some more hazards, and 240 HP, 244 attack, and just a little bit sprinkled in the speed and defense. So that's Silverhammer. Next up, we got some more Ice-type Pokemon. That's right, we got Grax, but this time we're bringing a Life Orb. And we're just going to go max attack with an Adamant Nature, max speed, punishment in case he wants to go for any type of setup moves. It deals bonus damage based on that. And we all know DJ, he loves setting up whenever he can. So it was either this or some sort of hazing ability, but thought to offensively punish instead. And then we just have ourselves Ice Shard, Ice Punch, you know, one for priority, one for damage, and then low kick just to round things off, you know, in case we're up against a Houndoom or, you know, anything really. It's just nice. Third Pokemon is Jkkayy, and we have a leftover set this week. No Choice Scarf. No Choice Scarf. Now, we didn't want to be too predictable, so we brought the tanky boy out this week. Max HP, max defense, and we have Will-O-Wisp, which is a great asset. Burn a lot of his physical attackers, and just rounding out with good special attacks. Again, the Electric Ghost. It's hard to punish, you know? Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Shadow Ball, good coverage moves. So that's Jkkayy for the week. Next up is Sniff. We're bringing him again, this time with a Shuka Berry. Gonna make sure that we mediate a little bit of the ground damage to only be 2 times instead of 4 times effectiveness. Doesn't really have any steel types, so just thought we'd go with sturdy. I don't know. But in terms of EVs, we have a max special defense here, and we have gone for Explosion. Hidden Power Grass. Now this is for Feraligatr. This is for Gastrodon. This is for Donphin. So a lot of grass weak Pokemon. Just thought it could be a nice little complementary move along with Power Gem. And last but not least, I need some sort of Stealth Rocks because it's a good move. Stinky Pinky coming again. Now, this honestly looks like the exact same Pokemon that we brought from last week, and you'd be right. They were pretty good. You know, we had to pull out all the stops here because DJ's a good player, so we had to bring the heavy guns. So we bring out the Pinky. Leftovers, no attacks on this guy this week. we have max HP, max special defense, and we're bringing Wish, Protect, Toxic, and Encore. Figured that we could Wish Pass onto our bulky boys of Rotom and Probopass. And then if we wanted to get into a little bit of a stall war, we can use the Toxic, we can use Protect, and if they feel like setting up, that's where we go with an Encore. So yeah, that is Clefable. And last but not least, we have Shroomy, the Breloom. And this week we're bringing a substitute set. Now we're bringing Leech Seed, we're bringing Spore, we're bringing Substitute, and we're bringing Drain Punch just for some more heal action. So we got HP and max defense this week. So, and just a little bit of speed just in case you wanted to speed tie me, I could outspeed it. But yeah, that's the Breloom set this week. Basically a pretty decent typing for being a defensive wall, so thought it'd be a nice fit. And if we run into a Yanmega, we're kind of done, but hopefully that doesn't happen. So yeah, that is the team for this week. A little bit of a defensive core, mind you, besides Sneasel, but wanted to try and stall out DJ, as he tends to like to switch a lot. So we're gonna see how that goes. And without further ado, let's hop into the game. So we have Silverhammer versus Moi. So I start off with Scumbadam. He starts off with Meow. I do not want to take a T-Bolt, as you are seeing. So we just switch into our Rotom, because he could also learn Superpower too. I didn't know if he was going to go for that. So we eat that pretty well. Get some leftovers recovery, and he switches into Gastrodon. So I wanted to get off a nice burn, and it turns out we get it onto the Gastrodon, so it's not bad. It's some good chip damage. And so I think this is where I go into, we go into Shroomy here, just because I don't really want to stall out against this. So we sub, he subs, everybody's subbing.
Even you.
We're all subscribing here, and we just kind of get into this little back and forth here. I get a Drain Punch, and he's firing off Earth Powers. And at this point, I'm faster than him, so I'm pretty sure I try and get off a Leech Seed, and this is where he switches into Hypno. Now, I'm not too sure what this Hypno is doing. I'm pretty scared of like a Choice Specs, Choice Scarf Max Speed Hypno. So I switch, but then he doubles back right into Luxray. And he does have the superpower. So I switch right out back into Rotom, and this proves to be very useful. He switches again. We get the Will-O-Wisp pop again. I knew he was gonna switch, but I had to try it just in case he stayed in. And it kind of gave me a good insight, thinking that he might be choiced. So we get a quick Shadow Ball off here, and he switches into Hypno, which is very fortunate. Switches out, sees another Shadow Ball coming, and we have a Houndoom on our hands. So I honestly thought he was going to go for some sort of Pursuit or Crunch, Dark Pulse, so I switch out into Probopass, and he switches out right away. I don't want to take an Earth Power, so I go straight into Breloom, and he eats that up pretty well, actually. So we're pretty safe to wall this thing off with Breloom. So we just get off a free substitute, and we're still really unsure what this Hypno is supposed to do. So we're just going to continue with the game plan, Leech Seed, and go from here. But he gets off a Wish, and this is news to me. So now he's able to kind of Wish Pass off, and I don't really have too much to touch Hypno with. So I go straight for Probopass. We eat up a Psychic. He stays in to get that healing. So In comes Gastrodon, and I find this is a very good place to put up rocks because he wasn't able to really stay in against me as I would just wall him. So incoming Earth Power, Levitate, great ability. So now we're back into the Rotom Wash and Gastrodon thing. Goes for a recover. I tried to go for Hydro Pump here, and then we just figured out that Storm Drain does not increase special attack, and it doesn't alleviate any of the damage. So Storm Drain in this gen doesn't really do what you want it to do. So that's kind of like a fun little tidbit to watch out for. So we try off Hydro Pump thinking that he's going to switch into Houndoom, and then we get a miss, which is unfortunate, and he gets a Toxic, which is pretty important here because now we can't like stall out against the Gastrodon. So we're kind of forced to switch out because I don't want to take any more residual damage against this thing. So he's forced to switch out. We get the Hypno back in again. We know it's coming. We get the Substitute. And back into the riveting gameplay. Leech Seed. Psychic. It's all coming together. But doesn't really want to play that game. And I figured he's going to switch. So we got to substitute off again. Now, we got off a Spore knowing that it's faster than us. That we're faster than it. So Safety Dance is asleep. And I'm not too sure what it was supposed to do. But you'll kind of see what happens here. As, Spore is kind of good, Being asleep is always fun. And the Safety Dance kind of takes the dance to the death zone as Shroomy picks up the kill. And we're going. So he leads out back into Gastrodon. We get a nice Leech Seed off. And he doesn't break the sub. So already it's kind of not looking too good here. But we kind of realized something in the fact that Drain Punch only has 8 PP. So he can pretty much stall me out. So this is when I go into Clefable. He then doubles back into Luxray, and that is not a good spot for me, so I immediately go back into Rotom. He gets off a Superpower, which is great. I predict the switch in terms of not firing off a electric move. We get a Shadow Ball off. We get another Shadow Ball off against the Houndoom, and this thing is definitely faster than me, so I need to switch. Probopath comes in comes the Dark Pulse, like expected. So he's forced to switch into now revealed Donphin. So I do not want to take any type of Earth move. So he goes for an immediate Head Smash, predicting the switch, and that was a very good play because now Guffaw is just basically crippled at this point. So if he's Head Smashing, we're going back in because it dealt a lot of damage, and turns out he was banded. So that was a definite insight that we got. We go for the Hidden Power Grass. Doesn't do too much damage, but we're just trying to whittle this thing down, to be honest. We have the Shuka Berry, so the ground damage gets mitigated a little bit, and we clean up Gastrodon with Probopass. So 6-4 right now. Hypno comes in. We're just chilling. He wishes. So I kind of want to follow suit. I want to do my own wish shenanigans. And he starts Calm Minding. And this is exactly why we brought this out. We get another Calm Mind here. And we get him Encored, which is huge. Because now he can't stay in. And we would have Toxiced him, but he swapped into Houndoom. And at this point, he's so low that we can just go for a protect, and we basically just tick out Houndoom. So now it's 6-3. Clefable picking up a kill, which is awesome. And in comes the Luxray. So we go into Breloom, because normally we'd go into the Rotom, but it's kind of low right now, and I'm hoping to try and save it with some Wish shenanigans. So we take that pretty well, and he has an attack drop, which means he probably has to switch. So we get a quick Drain Punch just to get some HP back. And since we're max defense against a Donphin, we're not too scared of what it can do. So it fires off an Earthquake. We eat that pretty well, and we basically get back up to full. Hypno comes back out. We get off the substitutes, and we go back into healing up a little bit here. Because this is what you do as a Breloom. You Leech Seed, you substitute, you put people to sleep. Except for Hypno, because of that Insomniac ability, which is a smart bring this week. The Wish Pass gets done on Donphin. We know he's switching, so we predict it and we get the sleep. But we're still dealing with a Donphin at full health, so he switches back out into Hypno. And we get another Leech Seed off. So at this point, a lot of stalling gameplay going on, as he just has 3 Pokemon left. So I figure it's kind of a good time to bring in Clefable and maybe do a little bit of our own Wish Passing. He brings in Donphin. And time for our own Wish Pass to happen. Now, since he's asleep, I feel pretty confident bringing in Rotom. So we get this passed. And now we're going to just try and fire off some Hydro Pumps. But we get a miss. So that's 1. But he's also asleep constantly. So it's a little bit of bad RNG both ways. We miss again. But he's also asleep again. So back and forth here a little bit. And we're kind of ticking down to Poison. So I didn't really want to sack him off just yet. So Donphin's asleep again, and he gets off an Earthquake, and I honestly thought he was going to go for Head Smash, so I thought he was locked in, but maybe sleep deters that. I'm not too sure. But Probopass gets destroyed, and it's 5-3 now, so we bring in Rotom just to do some revenge killing, but he is able to outspeed us and get a crunch. So now it's 4-3. But in comes Sneasel. So we get off a quick Ice Shard, just in case Luxray is faster or Scarfed. We didn't know. So we're able to chip him off and then use a Life Orb Ice Punch to clean up the Donphin. And at this point, Grax is going to be able to just clean up here. We have an Ice Shard again. Those Stealth Rocks putting in a lot of damage over time because of all these swaps. Hypno coming in, and we get a punishment, which with the attack drop, the crit did matter, but he only had Shadow Ball as an attacking move, so it wouldn't have done too much. But that's the game. That is the game. So yeah, 4-0 for the Raichu. Another 4-0 this season, feeling pretty good. But yeah, GG's. That was a really good game, DJ. Sorry my team wasn't dank enough, but we'll make sure to make it up to you somehow, someday. You know, maybe in the rematches to come. But yeah, that was GG's overall. It's fun playing you, and I hope you have good luck in next weeks to come. And I'm sure you're gonna pull through and go the distance in playoffs. So yeah. As for us, you know, 3-0 in the season right now, feeling pretty good about our spot. But you know, everybody kind of makes playoffs, so we're just gonna try and maybe experiment a little bit just to like refine out the lineup. There's a couple of Pokemon that we're having questions about right now, but other than that, smooth sailing. smooth sailing. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and tuning in and checking out some more APDL Season 5 action. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, see you in the next video. Go Raichu!